Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share another card that I've made with the Nativity of Light die set from Crafter's Companion. I made a bunch of cards basically using a couple of different die sets that I have from them, just in different ways. So this one is obviously meant to be made like this, and I just used one of the dies out of the well, I used two, I guess, those two out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, out of the 5 die set to create this card, and just paired it with a couple of alphabet dies that I had and some circle nesting dies. Easy to make. Let me show you how it's made. Okay, so one more with my Nativity of Light die set from Crafter's Companion. This one I cut the manger die just out of a scrap of this navy blue card, and you can see it's just, you know, literally cut off a scrap. And this die cuts this outline but leaves it attached at the bottom, which is what I want. And then I'm going to take, I have circle nesting dies, and this one is about 2 7/8 inch stitched edge nesting die. And I don't want it to cut the top of the manger, but I do want it to cut the rest of this. So I'm gonna arrange it within that circle, but I pulled these out because I don't want to risk getting those cut off because it just barely fits in there. Let me cut that. Now you can see I've got my manger with a nice rounded base. I took that same circle nesting die and I cut a circle out of this sort of white with a hint of gold, silver, and I'm going to layer that on top of there. And then I cut one bigger in the dark blue, and I'm going to layer those up. I've got a 5x7 card with just kind of a light blue matte layer, and then the dark blue matte layer, and then that same white shimmer card cut in a 2.5 inch strip, the same width as the blue. So this is going to go on there, this is going to go there. And then I've got just some alphabet dies. These I got off of Amazon. They're just alphabets, and I cut J and a Y. So I'm going to use this for my O. I'm going to do joy, like so. And then out of that same die set, the Nativity of Light die set, I cut a star, which I'm going to put on my card like that. And I'm going to use a little bit of foam tape for my O, but otherwise that's my card. And so let me glue it all up and I'll be right back. And there we go, all done. Very simple, but I love it. I think it's super pretty. You could do it in blacks as well, or golds, golds and browns, or whatever. But thanks for watching.